Troy Kearns, real estate investor, and I'm standing here in front of one of the properties I bought in 2014 in Las Vegas. And I want to talk you through why I bought it, how much I put into it, all the mistakes that I made during this property. We teach you how to earn money by investing in real estate. So let's get into it. So first of all, whenever you're gonna buy a commercial property, you need to understand a couple things. I want you to take a look at the size of this parking lot right here. One of the biggest issues I had on my first property was that we didn't have enough parking. Do you see these guys over here? They don't have no parking. Like zero. Where this sidewalk ends and that building begins is my property line. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parking spots.
We did it! Yay!
We had issues. We started towing them because they kept parking on my property without my permission. It's not like I didn't have any places to go, but they need to understand that it's not free. So now they're paying me $150 a month for these parking spots. If you know about cap rates and you know about commercial real estate, that could be worth anywhere from $15,000 to $45,000 in value of the property. A couple years later, the mechanics, they got no place to park back there, all these mechanic shops back there. So then they wanted to rent these front spots. And you see, I still have plenty of spots for all of my tenants to park. And now it looks like a busy shopping center. Another reason I bought this property, you see this nice pylon here? Any tenant who's gonna wanna rent a property who's in business is gonna wanna have their name on there so they can get clients, especially when you're on one of the busiest roads in all of Las Vegas. Now, we are not in prime time traffic right now. If you didn't watch this video, you definitely need to watch my other office building video. But I always keep my signs up and I always keep it up for lease. Things change, and if you have multiple properties, you wanna make sure that you always have an influx of call. You could put this guy over here, you could put this guy over here, and you just always wanna be receiving phone calls for tenants that you're trying to place. You see people come every day, and guess what? Every one of these cars is a customer for my tenants. You have a vested interest in your tenant's success. If your tenants aren't successful, you're not successful, because if your tenants aren't making money, you're not making money because they're gonna go bankrupt, right? And so you wanna buy commercial property with high visibility with lots of parking. So that's a couple things on this building that I learned from my first one. So you wanna make sure that you buy ample parking, because parking not only will be wonderful for your tenants, but it's an extra revenue source if parking is a commodity. The other thing is, if you notice right here, is this is a 1-story building. If you've watched my other video on my other commercial property, you'll find out that elevators are a huge expense. So I'm gonna walk you through a couple just little tips on this property. If you're gonna have ample parking, you wanna have ample lighting. So we've got lighting all through the parking lot. And you'll notice my lot is striped pretty well. The asphalt's pretty well maintained. It needs another coat probably in the next year or so, but you can see right here, about 4 years ago, I had it done and restriped, and then I keep up the paint pretty regularly. Now here's where the money was. Okay, so when I bought this property, this tenant was in here, this tenant was in here, and this tenant was in here. So this side of the building was occupied, and this part of the building was occupied. All the way in the middle right here was vacant. Why am I telling you that? Well, when I bought the property, that was 1 suite. And for a full year, I had my sign out there and I tried to get it rented, and it was so cut up, so chopped up that nobody wanted to rent it out. Finally, I had a friend of mine who's a commercial real estate broker come over here, and he said, "You're never gonna rent it like that. You gotta chop it up. Nobody wants big space anymore." And that's when it dawned on me, and we've made that change ever since. So we turned this 1 unit into 1, 2, 3 more income streams versus just 1 income stream. That makes the building more valuable. Then I had my whole office in this place. So we rented out that section, and then we took this section right over here. Then we renewed the lease on this tenant. We always try to keep stuff up. If you own the place, if you're not willing to pick up the garbage, people are gonna see that. If you're not willing to take care of the property, people are gonna see that. And one thing that's funny right here you're gonna see is not everything's bulletproof. When your contractor doesn't put the right security system in your security system, it's not a security system anymore. So I just told him he needs to fix that. But like I said, one thing you're gonna have is problems with your garbage. So on this particular building, I had that problem with garbage because guys would drive by here, unload their garbage in here. Like, landscapers are the worst, okay? If you're a landscaper and you're illegally dumping, Stop. Charge your customers. Don't charge me. I didn't do nothing wrong. You're dumping all your landscaping material. Stop it, man. Anyways, let's walk outside of here and I'll kind of show you what the problem was and why this whole thing is set up. You see there's a gate right here.
Do they have a key to get in?
Great question, Levy. Levy just asked, hey, how did the garbage guys get in? So on the outside of that gate over there, we have a padlock and only the garbage guys have the keys to the padlock. But you know what the worst thing about garbage guys are? Is sometimes they're lazy, man. Half the time, I gotta check it every day to make sure they actually locked it. That's just part of being the boss sometimes. So here's what this was like a two-phase thing because I was trying to save money. So what happened was, you're not gonna be able to tell here, but you'll see that a lot of these walls have been painted like this one right here. They used to have a sign when I bought the building from the guy that said no sleeping right here because they've had this problem for a long time. One thing you need to know about trespassing people, this is a good tip for you. When you're gonna trespass people, you need to have it posted with the NRS or whatever state you're in to look at whatever their local laws are. But in Nevada, you can have someone trespassed physically as long as it's posted. If it's not posted, you can't have them trespass the first time as a warning. But if it's posted, you can have them trespass, which means in Nevada, they'll get a red card and they can be immediately arrested. But I want you to pay attention. This is what blew my mind. This is what set me into orbit. I mean, just how irresponsible, how reckless some people are. If you see right here, how this part of the building looks like it's a little bit melted right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So I have cameras out here. You see that camera? They didn't care about it. I got a light right here. This is literally my office. They'd come back out here. They'd steal, and you can see it right here. See those burn marks on the outside of the dumpster? So they would come in, they'd steal stuff from the garbage. They would come back here, they'd start a fire. We noticed the first one was on one of these walls we painted. They start a fire. That got me really nervous because I saw them on camera doing it. So then I made signs saying, hey, we've seen this happen. Please don't let this happen again. They almost burnt my building down. They literally lit a fire on the side of the building. This is where they started the fire, right here against the building. I was taking it serious, but I had to fortify my whole office. So we have this area over here is locked, right? So it has to have egress for a fire code, but they can't get in this way. If you notice, two things I'm big on is signage and fortification. You can't always be at your property, and if people can get in, they're opportunistic. I caught a bunch of guys one time drinking out of the hose. They'll just turn the water and take a drink and walk off and leave it running because they don't care. They don't give a flying you know what. And it's so irritating. This was our first fortification effort. We said, let's just close this area off. That'll be the cheapest way to go. Well, then we had this whole issue right here. So this was not closed off. This was not closed off. So they just started messing around in here. I still had the illegal garbage dumping. Let's check our lock right now. Good. Everything's about ease for homeless people, and everything's about opportunity for homeless people who mess with your property. I'm not speaking about all homeless people. I'm talking about people who mess with your property. So what happened is the bus stop was right here. They'd shoot up this side street right here. There's a park at the end of this side street. I don't know if you can see it, but they'll hang out there all day. Then they walk back out here and they hit the bus stop down that way. Well, it's way easier to cut through my property and not be seen on the major streets. So they would just cut right through here. So we cut that part off. Now they cut through the parking lot or they cut all the way down. But they don't come on the property no more. So you fortify your property and you make sure that your contractors don't make silly mistakes like that. That don't make no sense. Let's show you the inside real quick. And I'll tell you one of the biggest wastes of money I did is I redid this whole inside of this property, right? And you know what? We didn't even use it. So we rented it out. They got a really nice office. And as you can see, this is what we did right here. So all this nice flooring. This was originally opened up. Oh yeah, I haven't done one in a while. Let's see if I can even do one. That's all I got today, I'm tired. So anyways, this is where we moved to. We were over there, the whole thing. Now we're right in here. It's the list of properties that I own right here. Since this was my office, what we're in right now, this is my bathroom. See, I had it all nice and dialed out. Levy's actually standing in the shower. Come out of the shower, which is actually pretty sick. Like if you look at the shower, you come inside, you can see like, it's a nice, this is like what I would do in a nice luxury flip. Now we're storing signs in it. This is gonna be, oh, sorry. This is gonna be timeless. Another security tip real quick while we're here. I told you we had a problem with homeless people. They don't know how to get into properties. So this way pretty much makes it impenetrable, because even if they pull off whatever's keeping you back over there, they got this thing that's going into the door jamb. Another good solution. Let's go back outside. Here's my words of wisdom. First of all, get started in investing in commercial real estate and be a problem solver. You see, everything that I talked about was the thing that make most people quit, but necessity is the mother of all invention, right? So solve the problems. There's a solution for every problem. And guess what? You'll make a bunch of money. You'll also be a garbage man, because in Las Vegas, the wind brings everything my way. But get started investing in commercial real estate. Be scared, be ready, get started. Peace.